All right, everybody, let's get right to it. Welcome and catch it all here Tuesday and Thursday, 12 noon Eastern, and we do the Harmonic Pattern Podcast. What's going on, chat? Good to see everybody. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a great weekend. And how about Thursday and Friday? How about that Friday action? How about all of this mega cap, mega tech, just follow through? Pretty remarkable. I want to go through a few of the bigger charts. Probably the best thing to do is just start right at the top with the QQQ. That's probably your number one still, even more so than the SPY. That's your number one chart for the macro situation. And we have talked. Really, it's amazing how it happens, but ever since that last signal, we were looking for that bullish continuation up to test higher levels, and it's exploding through. And that's a common characteristic of harmonic breakouts. The key numbers that we have, 338, 346, and 344, those were cited last week. We're already above them. And in fact, clearing 350 with ease today is, it is really impressive. It's really impressive. So I think you have to kind of go back and look at what are the big patterns here. What are the larger potential targets if this thing just continues to bypass these levels? Because we did hit an oversold HSI recently, but now we're back in the zone expanding where even with these generated levels, we've exceeded the entire range, 338 to 345. Maybe we do a little bit of an overshoot as high as 356 on the Qs. But this is probably more a story about the weekly now. Like Microsoft and Nvidia and the rest of them. This one didn't really have much in the way of big patterns. The futures did. I'll get to that chart in a second, but I think we have a pattern, if you will, kind of a consistent phenomenon structurally, if you connect dots, that we have this XABC phenomenon that sets us up for a shark. We've broken out of the B point where our only potential levels are an 886, convergence of a 1618, minimum 886. That's as high as 390 on the Qs. And so what are we doing now? We are accelerating through that B point in an ideal fashion that says this is quite strong. Quite strong. I mean, stronger than I think anybody really thought. I've been quite clear that I really felt like the big test was going to come on this 886 level, whether it was a shark retest or a bat pattern retest. But essentially off of last August peak, your 886 level was 325. Consider that not only broken but annihilated with follow-through, with multi-week follow-through that again says it's about this next segment. It's all about this next segment and how you want to play it probably in the next 3 months, if not sooner. I mean, I'll give it 3 months that we make a run at the 886 on the Qs before the end of the year now because it's so strong. Last week was just absolutely decimated shorts and did exactly what it needed to do at this B point structurally to be a strong breakout. Final point that everyone should recognize, because we're going to see it in so many patterns, so many charts. You have this phenomenon from last year of a BC leg that's a shakeout of the initial low from June. So that's a shakeout. You don't always know it as it's happening, but typically we want to see that BC only run to like a 113. Those are your best shakeout moves. This one went to like 127 almost. but that still has shakeout character. Little leads to a harmonic impulse wave where with the breakout, that's a 1618. That segment itself, just structurally, forget about the 886. Let's be conservative. I think 380, which is the 1618, just a scratch above. There you go. Can't get it perfectly, but 380 is the 1618. Okay, this BC throwdown move, shakeout last year. And what you're saying, no matter what, is that this bust of the B point is strong enough to be at least a 1618 extension. And if we're right on that, then we know we still have a little ways to go. We've taken out big numbers, short-term numbers, daily numbers, where, okay, I'm still saying wait for those 5-minute pullbacks. And you had them last week, and we will have them again this week. 5-minute patterns, what have you, but clearly overbought. Right now overbought. But the larger weekly levels are still higher, and I think we can give that a little bit more time. The big thing to look at here is monthly candles. That is just phenomenally bullish, and on the monthly chart. Also remember, I hope everyone remembers. Remember we looked at the total NASDAQ 5,000, the IXIC, or just the comp. Sorry, that's the wrong one. It's the comp. It's the full index. Not the 100. Where's the composite? Yeah, it was IXIC without that. Remember we were talking about these monthly, especially when we just introduced the yellow dot in the beginning of the year, that the monthly bullish dots have never failed in any NASDAQ oversold move. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just go on back. Check that out. It's specifically the NASDAQ Composite Index, and that's all of the major 5,000 tech stocks in that composite. Okay, that yellow dot with this kind of confirmation, again, even if we just connect dots with the monthly time frame, which I think makes sense, it's a lot clearer. I mean, this thing is a shark in development on the monthly. NASDAQ composite, all 5,000 of them. Go to the 886 at 15,580. That's it. One more month. Strong bullish month. Listen, we're going to close it out. And with a super strong candle. That's what you want to see. And then I would expect some follow through here. How far off of the monthly high are we? We're 13,166. You're talking about a segmented breakout move that takes you as high as 15.5, which is the 886, and that would be a lot of stocks moving. So check it out. I couldn't be clearer on everything that we have outlined. You have to go to the big stocks in that index, especially the NASDAQ 100. Here's Microsoft. I've been saying 340 for how many weeks, folks? How many weeks? There's your monthly. Same type of phenomenon. It was a shakeout. That last move down into October could end up being a historic shakeout low. Forget about the breakout move. We just need to complete the parameters for the shark here, which is 886 is almost there. 1618 breakout is of that down thrust is 345. Okay, 886 is 338. So Microsoft's 332 now. Still have a couple of things. And again, on the daily, look, this kind of continuation. We're projecting bearish zones, but the thing, let me clean this chart up. I think I've got all the patterns printing. There's a whole bunch of patterns here. The software's kicking it out. What is not here on a daily chart, there's no bearish confirmation whatsoever. No HSI, not even a single red arrow. Look, that was our last HSI signal, and it was bullish against a bearish zone. And that's another way that we read these the zones to say, hey, okay, it's not here. It's probably going to go for a deeper test of the zone. 330 is the top end of the hop. You're there. What are we going to do up here? We really don't have anything ideal confirmation on the daily yet, but wait and see. You're overstretched. You're hitting a lot of overstretched levels, but again, this is where probably the weekly time frame you kick it up there, and that's an 886. I mean, there's our weekly bat pattern. Remember that? 216. Now 331. We do get possibly look on the weekly, we might, if we come out this week, we might get HSI, but then that's still early. And I think 886 at 338 is almost automatic at this point. We see the same deal on, well, let's look at Tesla really quick, because Tesla's now playing catch up, and I think 221 is target one on this. It survived this consolidation. Can Tesla do more? Maybe, likely, but off of the pattern, and we'll go through the other examples, but Tesla's just lagging. Not as strong as Microsoft or NVIDIA. I'll get to NVIDIA in a second. And remember, Tesla's coming off of this type 2 small little mini shark. And the type 1 was over here. And this is started type 2, where 210.92 should be the target on that move. Here's NVIDIA, folks. And it's probably something you have to keep on your screen if you haven't all summer long. I mean, let's go to the weekly. All right, this is only thing you really had here was BAT 886 retest, and it's blown it out. I mean, it just, there's the 886 right there. Right there. So when you hit the 886, you explode right through it. That's a major sign of failure, where I would expect a 1618 extension. That's a 490 move. 490 on this breakout move. That's not going to happen tomorrow. But this is how we're gauging the degree of these breakouts. And I have been mentioning that these are of phenomenal, beyond impressive historic price action, especially at the pattern levels. We were looking at a couple of bearish patterns and this 886 around 315. No confirmation, but we've been targeting the 886, and it blew right through. Blew right through. So I would be watching this. I'm not really chasing that. I'll wait for, like the rest of them, I'll continue to wait for 5-minute pullbacks. Give me some patterns, stuff like that. One or two more. I think I was in the chat last week in the Discord, and I was talking about Amazon last week. And Amazon had a bunch of patterns down here at 114 area, played out incredibly well Friday. And now we're back with a few more patterns. Up here, already retested almost exactly this deep crab. It's kind of tough to see, but it was like within a cent, within a penny. You have to kick it out on the daily time frames. Look at the patterns that are going on the daily here. That's really what's at stake. We have a target too, which Amazon is a target too of the crab at 122.79. The high was 122.92. So I'm watching that. I'm also looking at really the weekly because I think this is interesting that you're at target one at 122.39 on Amazon. What are we going to do here? Just rolling over, exhausted, because it's gone back into HSI overbought, and so is, Amplified's back in overbought, but let's see if that rolls over or continues higher. If this really gets crazy for Amazon, treat it to go to target 2. It's going to take time, but I would like to see some kind of signal in between target 1 and target 2 over the next, this is a weekly chart, so you're talking next 4 weeks. You'd have to do something like that. You're kind of in a later stage move here, but you still have higher targets, and then we'll see. Absolutely. I think it's, I just think it's pretty impressive. The Microsoft thing was super impressive. The Qs are blowing through. It's definitely late move, but it's not. I'm not looking to short anything. And I actually all year really haven't put out too many short recommendations. So I think, in fact, I've kind of gone through in even recent sessions just not understanding why people were bearish. So just get settled in. If you missed it or you think you missed it, you didn't. You got plenty of time on this. So while you're waiting, listen, everyone, go over to harmonictrader.com and become a basic member and then get set up with our software. So I'm going to be putting together probably a webinar session. It's either going to be June or early July. I'll let you know. And it'll be doing the option stuff that I've started to highlight in the last week or two. We're going to do a dedicated session on that. That'll be open to all people that purchase the program in the last 3 months, or if you buy it in the next 30 days, and gold members, silver members too. I'll have more information on that on Thursday, but send your username and get the TradingView platform for a free 2-week trial to HPC at sr-analyst.com. And the other platform I'll be using is this eSignal for options. Really quick, just to show you guys the, here's, okay, perfect. Here's an options chart. Just I monitor, you guys know I look at 5-minute and 30-second option, second time frames for all intraday. Here's a 30-second chart for Tesla right now with right down at a hop level on a shark on a 30-second, but I'm also looking for 5-minute setups as well on the options. Anything there? No, not quite yet. But I'll be doing a lot more of that, especially through the website. So check that out, please. And then Thursday, we'll give away a couple more memberships so people can check it out and join it. Yeah, all members, new purchasers, people that buy it, or even subscribing renewals. We'll do that. But the option thing, listen, really had a great week last week with the options. And a lot of you know that I've been pounding the table on Meta and Amazon and Microsoft to go higher. And really, you just need to follow. I think Microsoft, NVIDIA is a good one too. But what do we do up here? Is Microsoft going to blow through the 886 and break out like NVIDIA did? Or does it take until earnings later July? I mean, that's really just the two setups there. Do we pause up here? We don't have any confirmation yet, but will we pause maybe for a few weeks and then break out? But when Microsoft does that, look, it's going to drag everything else with it. A lot going on. And again, if you want to see the setups we've been talking about, look at our last few Tuesday sessions. I mean, we just kind of killing it. Here's a 5-minute setup right now. I don't have any pattern right there on Microsoft, but you're certainly oversold on the 5-minute basis, 331. And that's an area I would look for maybe a day trade opportunity. Any 30-second pattern there? Anything there? Not really. What was the one that we did have pattern on this morning? Was it Amazon? No, it was NVIDIA. So here's the thing. Again, 5-minute and a 30-second time frame. Oh, good. NVIDIA checked it back. There you go. We had this bat pattern, and now we've come all the way back to retest. That's the kind of thing I look for. Hop level 403. Yeah, beautiful type 2 there. Anything on a 5-minute that confirms it, because that's what I want to see. All right, so 5-minute time frame. It's a little early. Almost ready, though. And again, that's the way to combine it to keep it simple. If you want, just trade it dot to dot or be looking for dots like that and that going with the trend. We'll probably get a dot in about 10 minutes. But let's see. You're about to jump into the next 5-minute bar. Yeah, it's not going to pop out. That needs a little more time. Need to see a dot down there, but at least it's oversold. Let's see if that comes out. Just stay, be patient with this market, and be patient throughout the summer. I think it's, pretty remarkable. What's the... Oh, here's the other one. Look, Netflix, folks. Netflix is one I have talked about previously because of the weekly formation. And I said, okay, if these are all going to come back and do a challenge of last year's bear market, well, 50% level would be a minimum. And that's 436 on Netflix, or a 618. Put you at 498. Call it 500. So if we're doing that and we're starting to develop some kind of breakout, or even possibly you connect the dots here on Netflix, you potentially do have a low-level BAM bat action, magnet move breakout. This little, that little BC segment, it's small, it's tough, but it does work. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Netflix has given us a couple opportunities just in the past 10 days. 350, 355. We had 2 patterns down there, and then down here at the 330 level. Where was the other ones? Down here at 334. Just the last 2 weeks, those have been areas we've been targeting, and it's because of this higher time frame is kicking in. And again, go to the weekly. I think the weekly is just fair game. And if you're getting B point breakout like that, it might take a while to get to the 886, but you're getting momentum through there that it's not your normal breakout mode. Take a look at the BAM material really quick. Just if you want to understand the bat action magnet move, it's in volume 2. And you can get that on the basic members page. Everybody can. Just click the PDF. Let me see if I can find the illustration. Because the way that we look at M and W patterns, it gives us that framework where we expect that follow through. And where'd you go? There you go. So it's like that. You get 4 of the 5 points. Once you break that B point, it's like a magnet. Here on the top side, here on the breakout for a bearish level. It could be an ABCD, whatever. Shark pattern. Let me go back to the other one. It's chapter 5 in volume 2. So if someone has the link, the download link, I'd appreciate it. But that's what you're looking at there. It is bullish band breakout. That's it. That's the thing we're looking at here with Netflix. So that seems kind of crazy, I know. Like, hey, wait, that's not really going to happen. You're not really going to do a full W retest to the 886 just because of that little move. You know, that's what I'm starting to think. That's how we should consider it, treat it. One more week, one more bullish close above this. You just keep going. Check that out. Absolutely. Look, it's going to take time. We're up like 3-4% on tech stocks last week, but it'll make the rounds. I mean, Netflix will give you another opportunity. Maybe it's back at 388 or something, or 380 even. But we'll get another one of these. I think NVIDIA is the one that's most impressive because of what a historic move it was. Yeah, here we are. We retesting that? Oh, it was a 30-second thing from this morning. Yeah, the 5-minute didn't set up on this. It's, yeah, we had that 403 hop level. 30-second, yeah, but the 5-minute is not ready. That's right. Keep an eye on that. Someone keep an eye on that for me, please. This HSI is trying to poke out. We just went into the next 5-minute bar, and it's still not out. Keep an eye on that one. Palantir, yes. Carthago, sure. That's another one. But that's another BAM kind of larger scenario. I think we mentioned that at 11. Yeah, I mean, it's just spectacular. Sitting at a butterfly right now above a hop level. So I would wait on that. Careful. If it really gets going, this is another harmonic impulse wave where you go to minimum 1618, which is almost there, 1530, but or a 20, 1902 level, more like 17. And if Palantir has really busted its downtrend, we'll just do a full spread. I think it might have. I'm watching this because if this has truly busted out of that downtrend, look, 382 minimum. I said 382, not 92. Puts you over $20, $21. 50% retrace that whole range. 25. That's makes sense to me. Wait for this kind of thing. Yeah, you're at a 5-minute pullback right now as we're speaking. What about hourlies? Yeah, hourly you're overbought. Want to see a little bit more of a pullback. You've been given how many of these? 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow dots on the hourly just in the last 3 weeks. So look for the next one. But these are ones to get on because they have definitely left the station. Ivan, yes, BT is another one. Left the station. Still early, but looks like it's unfolding right in front of our faces. 40. 318. Up 40 cents today. And it's all about this. We're not even above the measured XA level. It's sloppy, yes, but it's still a type 2. Let's see how that plays out. I mean, BT is putting together some things here where, yeah. Anyway, a couple of more. Of course, Apple. What's Apple going to do up here? It's ready for its 886 shark test. 1618, 886 have been hit. Maybe we go a little bit higher. Wait, this one. So 886, like what? Right there? Was it hit? Yep. Looks like it was. Looks like we just hit that today. So tell me what happens next. Amazing. That's your 886 right up there. Right off the all-time high. That was hit. So what happens next is going to be the decisive fireworks. Is that an all-time 886 failure? Any confirmation there? Zero. Zero. HSI is nowhere close to generating an overbought signal, and Amplified is going back after spending a long time above 50. And what could Apple do? I mean, it's got a huge weekly pattern preceding it. We talked about possible back-to-back, bat to a shark. That would make sense. You're up there, but you would need confirmation. Weekly chart, still sitting in the overbought. So it's not over. What happens here, if we roll over, then it's maybe caps it for now. If we expand, then I expect this thing to rally into earnings. We'll see how strong this is. It's impressive. The thing about Apple, it hasn't really done the massive breakout. Imagine if Apple did a breakout. Every bear in the world would have to throw in the towel. But this whole pattern since the low off the bat structure, and it's a type 2 bat, by the way, but this has been impressive. And the last high-level HSI signal, look, that triggered us since April, telling us this market's going higher. Do we have anything up here on the bearish side? No. So why not continue? And I said this before, this might take more time, but be aware that if this is a high-level bat pattern and it leads to something larger, it is a type 2 bat, by the way, but if it's going to really break out, above your 113 levels, like if it goes above 190 or what have you, it's a straight off 1618. I mean, and again, that's the way to think about a lot of these mega tech, the 100 billion and higher mega cap, looking like if they're really going to accelerate here with foot on the pedal, and we'll know it in another week across the board, then they go to 1618s. And that's how you should target it. That's how you should think about it. You shouldn't screw around with it. That you just go with it. Forget about last year. A lot of those setting up off those patterns are exploding. They're exploding through the target numbers off the pattern. They're running right through 886s. And, I know it's not the whole market. And I know there's a lot of stocks that are lagging. But it'll come around. Okay. I do want to quickly talk about crude oil. Yeah, I'll mention gold. But crude oil is close. In my opinion, I think if we can get this to resolve this bat pattern in some way with some kind of nice breakout. Structurally, this kind of reminds me of where gold was about a year ago. All right, we tried to break out of this little downtrend break, but nothing. We really don't have any confirmation to the right of this bat pattern, and I'm using this light sweet crude weekly pattern as kind of the projected general levels, and that's roughly, it's either 70 or are we going to 52? Because, I mean, that would seem brutal, but check it out. Look at how many Weeks it's been since the completion back in November, and we've done nothing. We didn't go to target 2, and we don't have any other confirmation. The daily time frame, you've got some daily patterns that say 65, 68. Maybe this all needs to be retested. I think 65 makes sense for this immediate consolidation. There's been no progress, and you're still under the weight of the downtrend. I mean, we could have say it was trying to break out there or there, and now you got to kind of redraw it like that. I've mentioned some of the energy stocks. XLE is one to be looking at. They all came quite close about 2 weeks ago. Now it looks like maybe they'll drop down and get a full retest. That's 76.45 on XLE. Chevron already hit for us, and it bounced a little bit. ExxonMobil was the other one, just shy. And so now it looks like maybe this is the retest or the check back. ExxonMobil is around, 102.50, 102.80. And then one or two of the other ones, Valero, getting down there, about to hit some bigger numbers. Big bat, another crab pattern. All of this, like 107 area. And what was the ConocoPhillips? So this might be a potential opportunity where, hey, you've got nice patterns. People are negative on the price. It looks like the price needs to come in a little bit more. That would set us up for some 2 of 2s. So for ConocoPhillips, that's around 93.76. What was the other one? Devon? Schlumberger, I think. Yeah, Schlumberger. It's 2 of 2 right off the top. Generally 47. But that's the kind of thing I want to look for. Oh, the other one was Marathon. That fell just shy, now coming in. So I like this next retest. I just want everyone to be aware of that. Look for that to drop in for, in a lot of cases, finally hit the 2 of 2 that we've been looking for a while. Somebody want to look at gold really quick, and this will be the kind of the stated position on gold. It's 1877. Where is it's 1833, sorry, is target 1. Now, we did generate an HSI, so maybe we'll see some more consolidation back up into the zone right now. Essentially, this reaction that you've seen on this retest didn't yield much. So, I mean, that's not too bad for the short term where you're stuck range bound 1950 to 2050. Maybe you go back to 2050 for now. You got to break it to like a 4-hour chart. Anything there? Bat pattern getting kicked out, maybe as high as 1995. I still would wait for that retest. The daily retest, again, the larger, some patterns down here, pattern targets, support 1830 really is the longer term support where, I feel like that could be the next continuation level long term. But that might not happen till the end of the year. Couple more. Twillo, yeah, you know what? So there's a couple of these tech. They're not low floaters. They're just crushed. Maybe they were Kathy Wood stuff. Twillo had this pattern down here at 46 and has exploded. And I'm not doing anything with it yet, but I'll look at it because if that's a pattern that's signaling the end of this thing, this bear market, and that's going to get you off the floor, so to speak, then you're closer to the lows. But still have to look at it like that. Now, there is another one a lot like this that I'm mentioned last week. I think people should get this on your radar. It's Wolf Speed. It's another one, couple patterns down here. It was as low as 44. It's trading 50 right now. I think the weekly too. It's big pattern. Yeah, the big right at the hop at 44. And we've had a look at how many of these patterns we've had. This is interesting. Wolf Speed in its history, weekly bat patterns. Is there 5 or 4? Let's just go with the bullish over the last 13, 15 years, okay? 1, 2, 3, and now 4 with a type 2 at the hop every time it's hit the hop. Perfect type 2. That type 2 worked. This type 2 off of that worked. So 44, really close. Should be major inflection low. And other ones in that vicinity too that definitely have started to move or haven't started to move. I'll give you guys one that's I haven't taken my eyes off of it, and I'm thinking we're scraping a bottom down here on this. It is PayPal. I think you're close. And for the first time in a long time. But check it out. You're coming perfectly off the hop. There's no confirmation down here, but it's more like this. There's your alternate bat pattern. Did a perfect type 1 from there to there. And then down for the type 2. It just went to the hop. And so the low for the whole bear market was Friday. And it reversed. I think 60's got to be a floor. Got to be. I don't know. Are any of you guys on these? You think this is you think I'm crazy on this tech stuff? Let's look at Nvidia. Nvidia, looks like that's holding in. And remember this little intraday 30-second chart. So we didn't get the 5-minute dot yet. Look, perfect though. Who said that? Medodici. Nice. There's the 5-minute. You have a check back. Okay, you're 2 more dots away from putting in a bullish dot. Just be careful. Last time you put in a yellow dot, it exploded. That was from the pre-market too. You're saying on a 1-minute, what do you got? Crab? Oh, there you go. Okay. Nice spot, by the way. So this is something to consider for the afternoon. And however you want to play out those patterns. I'm willing to look really quick. Let's look at some really quick. Let's look at those options. Let's look at some Nvidia options. Any patterns there? Because look, Nvidia. If our target is 490 longer term, we're not afraid to play up like 450s. We just need to get the premium to move. You need momentum. Let's pull up the 450 chart. Nvidia. 5-minute. Nothing there, but check out, oh man. Check out this beautiful butterfly. That's after the first jump. Came all the way back down. Beautiful butterfly right at 63 cents, and then you get the nice 5x, 6x move. I would love a type 2 though on that. That's the Nvidia 450s. What about like the 470s? 68 cents. Another ABCD right at that low. I want to see these patterns get retested. Again, I'm going to do a session in June on this, and I'll have more details on Thursday. It's probably going to be a week from Saturday, I think. But I want to show you guys these strategies because for NVIDIA, we come back down for a full type 2 at 40 cents, 45 cents. That's the kind of opportunity I'm looking for. If I miss it, I miss it. But some of these have been just flying. I mean, it's just remarkable moves. There's the 460s again. Trading a buck. Keep an eye on that one. I'll do more of those. Okay. Enough on all of that. We'll do more of that on Tuesday or Thursday. Let's jump to crypto. Nice NVIDIA, though. That's a great intraday setup right there, 403. And it's a type 2 off that 5-minute. A couple of things really nice there. On the 1 minute. Yeah. All right, I'm going to have to get out of here in a couple of minutes. Okay. Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing? What has Bitcoin done since 2 weeks? 3 weeks ago? It's held 27,000, right? Why? Daily HSI. Daily HSI. Okay, everyone can say, oh, it's static resistance, whatever. No, it's, look, we got oversold pretty quickly, letting a lot of air out of the tire, 1 and 2. So just break this wedge, okay, and understand that you've got a couple of bullish HSI right down there. What are we going to do with that flag? Is that a bear flag? Or are we going to go tighter like that? At least it's holding that 27 level. And remember, for Bitcoin, it really was about this 4-hour crab. This crab going into that last ditch of a sell-off, it was a type 2. And I think now, I mentioned this last week. I specifically mentioned going to 28.5. And I think now we go to 29.4. Go as high as 29.4 on this move. Okay? And flash up there, and then maybe it comes back down to 27. That's how this is going to play out. You're going to spend more time, but at least you're on the upswing with this. Same goes with Ethereum. Ethereum holding that 1800 level. Remember I said that, 1780, 1800, 1815 area. Come on back. And let's go back and retest some resistance up here at 2000. That's it. It's really not going to be that spectacular. You will get some exciting 1-day, 2-day moves that'll go back and retest the top end of the resistance. I'm just still favoring the whole eventual move to go back to retest the crab. Target ones at 2,400. We're going for that target, that target, 2,400. 2,437 to be exact. I'm going to argue that this is kind of a delayed type 1 reaction. And target one's 2,437. That's my scenario. That's my argument. I've got trend lines. I've got some HSI signals. I've got patterns preceding this and pointing out target 1, target 2. I'm going to say, just give me, as I said this before, give me till September 21 to get there, 2437. 2 weeks ago, that sounded crazy when Ethereum was flashing under 1800. It looked terrible. Terrible. But now, it's holding. Build it out. And especially, Ethereum's even better. You want to take the next 10 days and you want to get out of that downtrend and ride that larger uptrend. So break on through. Yes, to the other side. That's it. That's the bigger deal. Now, number 3 on the list, Binance Coin. I'm going to spend 1 second on it because it really doesn't matter. It holds 300, great, until Binance Coin can do fireworks. The only thing I care about is it holding 300, and I can move that up to 305. Remember the 4-hour crab that it had? That's the last couple of weeks. Well, we're in a type 2, 325. If you see it 325 and then backs off, it's nothing. Quickly, go to big number 4. Trying to do things. XRP. XRP 51 starting to break out. I still don't care if it's 40, 50. I only care about going to 90. And so I still think that that's, or that's a good one. This is good because you have a continuation off of an HSI. That's nice. And we're looking for, it's the weekly target one. Weekly target one is this. Break out above 58 cents, 59, go to 92. That's what you're looking for. And from 30, call it what, 32 to 58, that's going to be accumulation. That'll be your long-term accumulation zone. But that's just like BTBT. All those charts are the same. Where's BTBT now? Yeah, it's up high of the day. But that's XRP. You get an announcement that really might help the whole landscape. You need an XRP announcement. I don't know how long they're going to go on with this. And I will say this. You got an election cycle coming up next year. They're going to want to clean house before that, long before that. So my call is that they're going to have to get this crypto nonsense sorted out long before that election. I would think you're going to have to see something in XRP in the next 6 to 8 months, 9 months. But it's up. I don't think anybody's questioned the fact that that's a beautiful bat pattern. Target one at 92.8 cents. Number 5 could be Cardano. Could be a whole bunch of these. Cardano, nothing. I'm not doing anything with it until it comes back down. And let that, if I miss it, I miss it. But again, I want the full 28 cent retest. If that doesn't happen, so be it. I do like a couple things that have stabilized recently. We had VET flashing under 190 again for a minute, but we just generated an HSI on the weekly that closed on Sunday. So this could be another little trigger area, although, listen, we haven't seen much. This has not moved a scratch relative to the pattern parameters, but this is, again, the place, though, you want to be looking to be entering. And all along, it's been basically 2 cents. So you're right there. And for an eventual target one, 11.9, but you're going to have to pay. Pay time. That is. We've also had we're at Chili's. So Chili's is already well under 11.28 cents, which was the daily check back retest. It was under 10 cents. It's right at 10 cents right now. Okay. Couple of dots, bunch of things down here. I think this just goes sideways for a while. 11.3, it's crypto. You're not getting too hurt. But until this does something out of that hole, you're not adding, you're not doing much with it. Really just not worth it. Give it time. Because again, a lot of these are not moving. A lot of these are doing that sideways thing. What we're looking for are things that are getting some traction. Here's Cartesi. I think this thing is interesting. You've had a couple of thrusts recently where it looks like it's trying to get out of here. There's Cartesi. Some HSI signals around 17 cents. So, that's the kind of thing where maybe, hey, this is broken out of the downtrend. Maybe a first thrust. You've broken out down here. Maybe that's a first. There's a second thrust trying to do a third. I would look at that one. The other one that I said look at that had my attention and still does is this ARPA chain. And I don't know if you guys ran this or what, but it had a real nice move to 12 cents. Now, of course, came screaming right back down, but check it out. Another big kind of first thrust thing. That's a 4-hour chart. So you got one dot, two dots somewhere in here. Just trying to ballpark it. No real big patterns here, but somewhere around 7 cents. Another possible continuation level. And the, what is it, the hourly, or there was something on the 5-minute. Not really. Nothing. Maybe it was the hourly time frame. But it's done a big first move. Let it come in, which it has, and then hey, we get it going again. The other one that, again, really trying to find things that are moving, actually moving. Here's this render. So a little bit of a pullback just recently down to the 50 level. A couple of the patterns on the 5-minute. Here it is, hourly. So now you got my attention right here at the 250 level with this Gartley, high level Gartley. Render might set up something like this. Maybe come back one more time. And I say this is a potential area because you've got the Gartley on the hour. You did pull back after trying to run above 3 recently. Maybe do the type 2 and then go because look at the daily. So render been following this since really 165. It did 1 and 2, came back up. 290 is your XA level off the crab, maybe as high as 340. So maybe you go down once and then off of that 5-minute pattern. I'll probably update that like tomorrow if that really comes in and sets up. But I think 340, at least the trend is developing. You know, where you don't see too many of these. You don't see too many of these that have trend lines starting to move like that. There was one more. Oh, it was this ocean. So here's another one, up 10%. We didn't get the full retest, but I was looking for that to come down to 20 cents, but it's got something like that. So we're looking for crypto, right? We want crypto to move. We don't want zombie crypto. I mean, zombie crypto is, then you're just holding on to a dream. I'm looking for things like that. Anyone have anything that's crypto that's trending? Let me know if you guys have anything that's verifiably we can say, hey, that's on a steady uptrend. You have some movement there. You know, I'm targeting a couple of things, but here's something that caught my eye recently. This Orion chain. I can't get on Qcoin. That bothers me. But almost a full retest of the Type 2. What else? Here's the graph. And this is another one where it seems like it's trying to ramp. And you had that big first thrust move. But you need to see like trend line continuation. This is actually almost broken trend line. Really, if we keep it tight. ARB. I've heard of that. I've heard that's something running. Yeah, ARB, not bad. There you go. Okay. There's a nice 4 hour bat pattern at 107, and that one was just at $2, 180. Okay, that's a good one. Thank you very much. I don't know who. Let me check out one other spot price. Yeah, we got some nice patterns there. That's what I want to see. Matt wants to see Litecoin. Okay, hold on. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, I need to keep my eye on Nvidia, guys. Nvidia's starting to come off of 403. Nvidia's got a 5 minute check back on the dot. Eeh. I'll get to that in a second. Litecoin for Matt. I don't think that's moved. Has Litecoin really moved? Hold on, folks. Got a couple things going on at once. Okay. Litecoin, no. 4 hour chart, you're a type 2 bearish bat, but this is, not really the same as those others. Like, this is still, hasn't really broken out. There's the prior range from 2022. You want stuff that's progressed. That's not even a 382 off the low, and even with that, I would say 99 is capping this for now. One or two more. That Jasmine, sure. Yeah, we can look at that. That pulled back to retest the pattern. I was looking at that around 5 cents. This is 4.5 now. Deep crab. But there you have a couple of, this is interesting where you have a couple of dots down here at 0.47 cents. Target 2, the minimum was 5.4, but, excuse me, 0.548, but there's confirmation. 0.45. Yeah. Possible area to look at that. Yeah. For a larger type 2. At least to come back and retest this shark pattern at 7. But still, this is not one that has, it was in a great spot. It still isn't a great spot, but it hasn't made any progress off the low. Not really. Even something like KNC, Kyber Network, a lot of these that were big movers have yet to do much. Didn't this Kava start to move? Not really. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Hold on, let me get a better feed on that. Daily Kava. Bunch of patterns at 88 cents, but it's not moving. It's not moving. ALU. I don't know what that is. Altura. And this is on the Gate.io and Crypto.com. I'm not on those exchanges. Okay, that's actually not bad. But but relative to the trend history, we still have barely scraped the bottom. Oh, look at that. 3 cents. It did go to 50 before. I mean, yeah, but we could be waiting a long time. Long time. That's the problem with that crypto stuff. Where we are at the moment. Pulse chain, no way. No, no, and no one can buy Pulse chain. And you know what? I'll put it up. But in on in no instance would I'd be looking at this. This is one where I'd rather buy a stack of lottery tickets, quite frankly. Sorry. I just don't see how people didn't get rug pulled on that. You look at where Hex went. Hex went to the hop. I mean, we called it. Hex went to the hop. The hop on Hex is 0.008 cents. Here it is. It's a type 2 on the daily, maybe even the weekly. So how didn't people get? Yeah, I don't think I have it here. I just don't know how people didn't get completely pulled on that, or most of them. So, yeah, let's something better. GMT. Another one hasn't moved. That's the problem with crypto. You're not this is not running at all. I mean, if you put money into that, you cannot expect much. You can only expect this to continue with that kind of a trend. Until that does something and really flashes something, it's not really doing it. Here's Gala, and it's another one where it's in a great setup, type 2, everything, but it has not made any progress really off the low. Just kind of wavering. So I'm just definitely not that much of a fan of that. Sure, this one is a little better, Fetch AI, but again, it has to continue. That has to bust. It did the big. It was a big thrust relative to where it was January 1, but the long-term chart, no. And I'd want to see again, see a further progression. I'd want to see Fetch like take 8 weeks and ride that trend line and keep moving higher. Not this continued down stuff. At least you have a yellow dot, a bullish dot, that is. But this needs time, and it needs to do price action. I mean, it really needs to put in price action going forward and climb out of this hole, not break another single weekly low. If it breaks another weekly low, like if and it did last week. I mean, Fetch, before it did the reversal, had made a new low for the move. Was it 22 cents? That was 27. That would have to be it. So, same can be said. Someone's saying XRP, Neo Maxim, you're saying XRP. It's the same. They all are in major development phase versus maybe something like, I don't know, Render. Render seems like it still wants to go a bit higher before it puts in some kind of peak. At least to what I'm looking at. Here, one last chance. Yeah, I mean, that's even on a weekly chart. That's give me anything that looks, at least on a weekly chart, that looks like that. And you've done enough time here, even with against the downtrend, you've done enough time. And as a weekly chart, not much that I can think of. But that's where crypto is at the moment. I don't think it's, we're still not in any kind of massive move, if you will, but you're holding, which is what we really said for a while. Last few weeks, we just basically said, hold this little breakout. Here's total crypto market cap on the weekly, trying to hold the trend line. 1.1 trillion is all you need to know. If we go under $1 trillion, let's say it rolls over and we retest under $1 trillion, that's going to be a problem. That'll be a problem. I don't think so, because we have some high-level signals like Bitcoin and long-term charts that are similar, where you hold this trend line, then you ride that trend line to target 1. But even if you ride that trend line, you stay on the slope of that uptrend, It doesn't really get you there until March of next year on the total crypto market index. So understand that. Yes, you could do something crazy. It's not likely, but maybe you do kind of do an accelerated breakout move, and it would be something like that kind of accelerated move. Even in the best case, that's still saying you're going to take till September to make progress. Keep an eye on that. I mean, it's slow, and it's going to continue to be slow. And I think you're going to have to accept even this very tight range until the 21st of June. 30 more days, 3 more weeks. And then people will eventually start talking about Bitcoin halving. And that's all you're going to hear for a while. So for now, probably the best thing are those stocks. Bybit or Bit Digital. Yeah, look at that. I mean, that's just continuing to rocket. Wait for a pullback, but these are coming off of massive patterns. The other one that we mentioned recently was Clean Spark. This one. Okay. That's retesting a bearish pattern, so I'm not as enthralled with that one right here, but I would love to get that on a pullback on an hourly or 4-hour chart. And then, of course, Riot and Mara. Here's Riot doing its thing, up 10% today. If you're not in that, just get your eye on it. Get your eye on it, because that could really, against the weekly pattern that we've talked about, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the breakout, especially above 14, to go to target 1 at 32.38. Sounds crazy, but that's how we look at it. That's the type 1 bat pattern, 32.38. Keep it linked. Really quick, let's take a look at, before I jump out of here, what are the Qs doing right now? Couple of 5-minute triggers here were oversold right at the moment on the QQQ, and that's exactly what I've been looking for the last many weeks. Give me a 5-minute dot, and then let's see if we can get a pattern down there. But the 5-minute dots there and there all have been great potential areas. What about the 30-second? Any patterns on 30-second time frame? A couple of bat, pat, crab, a whole bunch of things on 30-second. What's down here? No, you're not there yet. You're hitting some oversold levels at the moment. All right. I mean, not too bad. Look at this 350 area level. 349.75, 350 could be an important low. Again, the 5-minute, this is kind of our 5-minute midday signal. I've mentioned this many times before. We look for whatever it is, bullish or bearish. We look for the dot in the lunch hour, 12 noon Eastern. Well, it's a bullish dot. We're retesting it right now, right at 350. So let's see. Keep an eye on that 350, 349.75 area on the Qs for today. You're looking for that just to turn around. Doesn't really matter what today's close is going to be. It's all about Friday's close. But you're looking for something like that and then breakout of this downtrend. Retest, you're going to bust 350 right now. There you go. So maybe as low as 75. Come down to 49.75 and then pop it back up. There you go. You're almost there. Almost there. Oh, nice little, even another little mini crab pattern, 49.86. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today. That's probably the opportunity for the afternoon. If we're going to get a recovery, it's probably off of these triggers. And we'll come back on Thursday. We'll do more crypto and these mega cap tech. Let's see how we ride all week. Thanks, everybody. Come on back. Thursday, 12 noon Eastern. You have any questions? Get over to Harmonic Trader and sign up, and I'll have more details on that presentation for options that we're going to do. You have to be either a new subscriber, member, or have purchased the software. So again, Thursday, I'll take questions on that. Have a great one. As always, go get them, and we'll see you then.